If I had to use one word to describe Zanka, it would be resilience. We've seen time and time again that no matter what happens to him, he comes back stronger. And this is just like he said before we got to the doll festival. I joined the cleaners so I could get stronger. I ain't gone far enough yet. Y'all remember, right, when he destroyed that giant ass trash beast that was in the building? Y'all remember that. And then we did the whole like running into Hio thing, well, them walking past each other as if their paths were meant to cross again and will cross again with the doll festival being there. Y'all remember that, right? Anyway, the whole family thing was sick too. Seeing Kyoka with long hair was the healing I think we all needed as Gachiakuta fans. And Mayo? Well, he's evolving scarily. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? DomoSenpai here, and today we'll be going over chapter 153 of Gachiakuta. And if y'all are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, make sure y'all go down below and hit that big old red subscribe button underneath the video. Help your boy reach 20,000 subscribers. The support as of late has been massive. Y'all have been pushing these videos to some crazy heights, and I appreciate that more than y'all could ever know, bro. So again, thank you so much. But the job is not done. We still have so much to do, right? We still have so much more to do. And for that, I'll need y'all help. As many of y'all know, and probably seen in my last video, I can't just mass produce videos because my PC is indeed running on its last leg. So if y'all would like to help me either buy a whole new one, like the build that I'm showing you guys on the screen right now, or if y'all would rather me buy the parts myself and build it on a stream or something, the donation link is in the description below. Anyway, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into the video, shall we? As I mentioned in the opening, Zanka is one of the most resilient characters in the series. And to drive that point home even further, we get a visual of what seems to be a younger Kyoka and Goka having a conversation about Zanka. Bro, their names kill me, but I still love them anyway. And she goes on to explain that Zanka still needs polish. He still needs to grow. But with Goka being the sturdiest member of not only the family, but the Hellguard itself, she wants him to defend Zanka's good qualities. And I think this is important to note because while Zanka thinks of himself as defective or weak, from what we know, they've always seen that he had potential. But his biggest issue was not allowing himself to see what they saw in him. Hence why he's donned the Average Joe moniker, because he's still viewing himself from a surface level understanding, as opposed to this real understanding of himself that he says he has, right? I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can't wait for Zanka to finally understand who he is and what he's capable of, because boy, that'll be a sight for not only his family but the crew as well. Because like I said, bro, everyone else knows what Zanka is capable of. The only one who doesn't understand that is himself. Anyway, she goes on to say that by using each of their good qualities, the Hellguards become a bigger flame that illuminates every corner of the ground. And that even if Zanka leaves them one day, as the one who came before, as the one learning, as his brother, never look away from him. That shit was powerful, bro. We've known the whole family thing as like a meme in regards to like, you know, the whole Fast and the Furious Vin Diesel thing. But when it comes to the wisdom of the eldest, you never disregard the knowledge they pass down because it'll eventually come in handy in the toughest of times. She then says that his good quality is his inexhaustible flame. And we get a shot of Zanka landing a blow on Mayo. Like I said in the opening, bro, Zanka is resilient. Whether you want to compare him to a cockroach or a mighty warrior, this is totally up to you. But in my eyes, I've always thought that Zanka would have that moment to let the people know that he's a force to be reckoned with. And he did just that by showing that Mayo is still beatable. The dialogue continues by saying that it consumes his inept and naive past. And as his heart struggles to break free, it leads him to evolve. I love this from my boy Zanka, man. He then says, vital instruments work on it. So let's clean him up. This leads into a fire-ass visual of the Adoroid twins grabbing and shaking Mayo like a bartender and tossing him into a wall. And as this is happening, Ryo captures Felix. All seems well, right? The moment between Goka and Zanka was tough because while I do think it was fitting, it's not like that shit didn't also piss me off. As Zanka sits there and wonders why does it always have to be me, Goka comes over and talks shit per usual. He says, "You're pathetic." So this is what becomes of the man who refused to live up to his elder sister's expectations. Zanka, your dependence on your vital instrument makes you vulnerable. Is your flame only good for heating lukewarm water for the cleaners? Now look, as the eldest brother in my family, I understand the concept of tough love and all of that good stuff, right? But come on now, weren't you just the guy who commanded your unit to blast an entity that y'all couldn't even phase before? Yet, Zanka, the one who you consistently look down on, calling him incompetent, was the one who successfully landed a blow on him? But I get it though. For him to do something that even you weren't able to do probably pissed you off and led you to saying what you did. But I'll give Goka a little bit of credit here. He does what any older brother would do in this situation. He picks up Zanka and escorts him to safety, while still being the asshole and berating him, of course. I mean, come on, what did we expect, right? What do we expect? He wasn't going to change in the blink of an eye. You kind of just have to chalk it up to being a part of his character. But you know who this was an extreme relief for, like a hella big relief for? Our boy Rudo. If Zanka had died there, he would have erupted and more than likely lost control. But to see that he was not only like alive, but in good hands, this means that he can now focus 100% of his efforts into the fight, as Goka stated before leaving. All's well that ends well, right? Right? As Ryo links up with the Adoroid brothers to focus on fighting Mayo, she asks them if a Jinky works on it, is it a trash beast? They respond by saying, "I think not. It's creepy as hell, but it feels like pummeling a human. That's my hunch." Ryo responds by saying, "It's human? How does his mic turn someone into that?" This is when the fear sets in. Again. Mayo says after he tests his vocal senses out, "I have a mouth now. Zanka, you gave it to me. Thank you." That sudden and violent attack activated my sympathetic nervous system, so I think I would like to counterattack. Basically, what he said is that Zanka activated his fight or flight mode, and instead of taking flight, he would like to fight. That's what the whole, sympathetic nervous system thing is. So let's talk about what makes this situation truly terrifying. As Ryo had mentioned, how did his mic turn him into that? We understand that it can take command of the whole body and tell you what to do, right? Telling you to do whatever the user wants. But is this also a byproduct of Gontus's Watchman ability resonating at the same time with his wish? It brought me back to what happened with Rudo and Follow, the whole awakening of his giver abilities and stuff. What happened back at Kremos Village after they fought and Follow almost died and all of that good jazz, right? But does it also have the ability to amplify another human? This adds a lot of questions to the ever-flowing pot of Watchman series questions that we already have. But to get to the scary shit, does he even need his mic anymore? That's what this feels like it's leading up to. That now that he's become this monster, he'll be able to control people at will, especially now that he can actually talk. And more than likely, his mic abilities are now just a part of the being that he's become. Like he's a walking Jinky. That makes this a truly terrifying moment because I'll ask you the same question I asked you guys last week. How do we combat that? The only thing that really makes sense in this situation is Amo overcoming that sense of inferiority she was feeling and awakened to something stronger than her initial ability, just in case everyone gets put into the infinite Tsukuyomi of Mayo. This has me ever the more curious as to what's going to happen in the next chapter. Hopefully we don't go on another break next week, but if we do, praying for your health, Udana-sensei. But overall, I'm completely satisfied with this chapter. This not only adds more depth to Zanka as a character, since, we're learning more about the Nijiku family along with it, but it also evades what I thought was going to be some extreme BS. Because like I said, we all know Zanka is extremely durable, but the only way to make that moment feel worth it was to either give him a new ability or give us a moment that felt worthy of the cliffhanger. And Urana-sensei did just that. It didn't come across as corny, it didn't come across as BS, it felt right within the moment that was given to us. And what makes it even better is the fact that Rudo wasn't involved, that Zanka did it on his own with no help. I love that. Anyway, that'll do it all for this video. If there was anything that I missed that y'all thought I should have covered, make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and while you're at it, run up the hype if y'all can. This is a one-man band operation and doing everything myself can get a bit tiring, but y'all know me. I'll weather the storm no matter the cost. That's just how I was raised. That's just how I'm built. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and edit this video. Y'all enjoy y'all morning, afternoon, or night, wherever y'all are. I'm DomoSenpai, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.